Okay, sir.
Good morning to one and all. Arikinada Government Arts College, Musiri, PG and Research Department organizes one day national level webinar and economic perspective of COVID-19 pandemic period in India. Today, we organize this webinar with the permission of our college principal, Dr. M.K. Rajkumar, the head of the department, Dr. P. Hema, and the program coordinator, Dr. R. Pichumudi, the respected resource person, Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, Associate Professor, Assistant Controller of Examinations, Periyar EVR College, Autonomous Trichinopalli. The resource person today webinar. I heartily invite all the participants on behalf of the Department of Economics. Now, resource person Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, the Assistant Controller of Examination, Periyar EVR College, Trichinopalli. Goes to resource person.
Madam, நீங்க பேசுங்க. Madam. Hello. பேசுங்க madam. பேசுங்க.
Sir.
Okay madam. பேசுங்க.
ஆரம்பிக்கலாமா சார்?
ஆரம்பிங்க.
It gives me immense pleasure to welcome you all on behalf of this Department of Economics, Arikinada Government Arts College for this one-day national seminar. I extend a warm welcome to our beloved principal, Dr. K. Rajkumar, who is always a source of inspiration for us. Welcome, sir. I am very pleased to welcome our today's chief guest, Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan, who has accepted our invitation and who is among us to deliver a special lecture for us. He is a very good academician, active researcher, and a vibrant leader in TNGCTA. We are really fortunate to have you among us, sir. I hereby acknowledge the active support of all the members of our department, especially Dr. Shanmugam, Dr. Pichumani, who has taken much effort to arrange this program. I wholeheartedly welcome all the professors from various departments and various colleges, research scholars, and student friends to this webinar. I am happy to invite Dr. P. Palanichami, Assistant Professor, Department of History, Arikinada Government Arts College, Musiri, who has taken much pains to arrange this webinar a successful one. Our topic is economic perspectives of COVID-19 pandemic. We are facing this pandemic for the past 4 months. Even before this pandemic, nearly for the past 4 years, we have been our Indian economy have been facing a lot of troubles since 2016. By 2016, we had by 8th November 2016, we have demonetization, in which around 85% of the economy's money flow was demonetized. The 500 and 1000 rupee notes were demonetized, which had a very negative impact upon our economy. If we go through the GDP growth rate, we could see that there was a continuous fall in the GDP since the past 4 years, and it had a negative impact upon the employment also. After that, even in 2017, we had yet another blow in the name of GST. So, due to the introduction of GST, since the GST was very high, it affected especially the trading, investment sectors very much. There was a sharp fall in employment opportunities, especially in the automobile sector. So, it led to the economy in a downward path, which resulted in lower employment opportunities, which once again resulted in the fall in consumption of the people. Even added to this misery, we had increase in non-performing assets in banks and so many problems. So all these problems added to this misery. Now we have COVID-19 pandemic. This is not exclusive for our nation alone. All the entire economy, the world economy is facing this pandemic, and it has made this world to a standstill. So Dr. A. Gopalakrishnan is going to deliver a special lecture on this topic.
I need a one-word meaning for
Just like you all, I am also eagerly waiting to listen to his lecture. I invite him to
Hey Google, give me a
deliver his
one-word
special
meaning
address.
for
Thank you.
that.
நீங்க பேசலாம் சார். கோபாலகிருஷ்ணன் சார், நான் உங்களுக்கு லிங்க் கொடுக்குறேன். பிபிடி லிங்க் கொடுக்குறேன் சார்.
Hey Google, one more meaning for
கொடுத்தா சார்.
nag.
பிபிடி கொடுத்தா சார். ஓகே.
What is the meaning of nag in Kodai Vandura?
One word meaning நான் எழுதிக்கிட்டே போங்க. நான் மாமா
இல்ல அதுல ஒரு லைனா எடுத்துருக்கு.
மேடம் லதா கொஞ்சம் மைக் ஆஃப் பண்ணல சார், நல்லா இருக்கும். மைக்கை கொஞ்சம் ஆஃப் பண்ணுங்க, கேட்கல ஒண்ணுமே ப்ளீஸ். மேடம் லதா கொஞ்சம் மைக் ஆஃப் பண்ணுங்க.
I request you all the participants to turn off your video and mute your audio.
Good morning, my teaching fraternity, the scholars, and with due respect and gratitude, I would like to thank the organizers, the management of Aringaranna Government Arts College, and Dr. Palaniswamy for his technical support, Dr. Khema, Dr. Shanmugam, and the colleagues who have been working in the department. And I would like to mute your mic so that I could deliver my participants.
Hey Google, meaning for sliding.
Well, friends, see, the pandemic, COVID-19, and its economic perspective have been dealt in intense length and breadth for very best webinar. And we all know the broad categories on which the pandemic has been impacted. Of course, but what else we are going to deal with today? I'm just going to brief in nutshell how intensely has had its impact on Indian economy and global economy. More interestingly, the second part, I would like to deliver how individuals and policy makers look upon the economic perspective of COVID-19 pandemic period. Of course, to formulate any pragmatic policy, we are in dire need of.
கொஞ்சம் மைக் ஆஃப் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க சார் ப்ளீஸ். ஒன்றும் கேட்கல சரியா. மைக் ஆஃப் பண்ண சொல்லுங்க சார் எல்லாத்தையும் ப்ளீஸ். மியூட் பண்ண சொல்லுங்களா ப்ளீஸ்.
Kindly mute your mic, please. Kindly mute your mic, please. Then we will be able to deliver. Excuse me, kindly mute your mic. Well, so we all know how the coronavirus, the COVID-19 had its genesis, and from China, that we know very well. And the first case was reported in January 2020 in Kerala. Later, in the month of March only, we understood, after the declaration of the WHO, as it is a pandemic, we understood the gravity of the problem, and thereafter, a sudden lockdown was declared and observed in India.
I request to the buy avladana.
Not only India, in various countries, to counteract, to combat this pandemic. As soon as the World Health Organization announced it as a pandemic, they declared lockdowns. And we have been going through complete lockdown to partial lockdown. Even now, at present in India, we are living with a partial lockdown with several restrictions on commutation, several restrictions on movements of goods and services, several restrictions on production activities. Even the behavioral, consumer behavior, the production behavior have been undergoing a lot of changes in this sense. So, in this background, this present webinar has had a single objective to elucidate the economic perspective and its related debates during the pandemic period with a special reference to Indian economy. And I organized this delivery of this webinar into two areas, two parts. The first part briefly elucidate the economic outlook or impact in the global arena and with reference to India. The second part discusses how we perceive the economic impact and how we formulate policies or provide suggestions for recovery from this pandemic period and to recover the economy, which had already been, as Mr. Hema said very well, which had already been in the crisis. See, the economic outlook, very well, we are very well known that the global economy has been already even pre-pandemic period in the crisis. It was facing the crisis. But after this pandemic, the world economy has plunged into a deeper crisis. I hope nobody is objecting to it. It has plunged into deeper crisis because several economic activities with reference to production, with reference to exchange, with reference to consumption, except and commutation, transport have been nearly standstill during the lockdown period. And only the partial restriction during this period that we are undergoing now, even now, the economic activity have not been restored completely, both in the global sense and in India. Actually, the developing economy, you see the picture. You see the picture. Here, it is the projection of the World Bank, Consensus Economics World Bank. It reveals the intensity of the problem. The intensity of the problem. Here the red line. Here the red line. 2020 represents 2020. The recession. There is a sharp fall in the period between March and April. It has come down deeply. As far as especially India, India is concerned, this is the fourth recession since our independence, and this is the highly intensive recession too. Many rating agencies have been projecting negative growth in the 2021. Even 2020, Gold and Sachs projected to have the meager growth rate, so-called 1.6% GDP. So it's not a projection. Anyway, if you look at this figure, the share of economic recession, around 100 countries, more than 100 countries face this recession, pandemic, COVID-19 pandemic recession. Whereas the previous recession, during the period of 1928 to 31, it is only around 80 countries. Only around 80 countries. The next week is pandemic recession or recession triggered by pandemic condition, COVID-19 condition. Here, with reference to Indian economy, it has both direct and indirect impact on production productivity. With a complete lockdown, the production activity has come to complete standstill position, especially in the manufacturing sector, MSME sector, even in the agriculture sector. We were not permitted to harvest, to undergo the various agriculture
government farmers supply
chain. Another important impact on the supply chain. Put restrictions on the supply chain, the commutation of goods and services, logistics. It disrupted the supply of input as well as the output. It has got its cascading effect, even the price escalation. So market changes. The transaction have been had only in the local markets. even in the financial markets and home had a severe impact due to the sudden fall of Sensex. It is reflected in the sudden fall of Sensex, and people's thinking ability has come down vehemently, and preferences also. In the pandemic period, people prefer to spend only. Excuse me, please kindly mute your mic.
மேடம் இது யாரு மேடம் லதா மேடம் தயவு செய்து வந்து மீட் பண்ணுங்க மேடம்.
So individuals began to spend only on essential commodities. They are inclined towards essential commodities, which are especially livelihoods. But for livelihoods, many people, not many people, most of the people postpone their expenditure. When expenditure is postponed, when expenditure is not done, what happens? The demand has come down. So crisis in the demand side.
கண்டிப்பா வர போறது இல்ல.
Both in production side and another impact. And moreover,
is your video and audio.
right,
Disturb.
Organize this, please tell the participants to mute their audio.
Hello, Lada
No,
madam.
no, baat karo.
Madam, I could hear many children's voice. Please mute your mic.
சொல்லி சொல்றேன்.
Hello,
Please mute your mic.
Lada madam.
Another impact which we have is unemployment, especially in the informal sector. The informal sector, which contributes 1/3 of the GDP in India, and 70% of the employment opportunity is got up. When informal sector, especially the small and large medium industries,
போயடா
and
டென்ஷனா இருக்கிறேன்.
shops and small businesses,
நான் வந்துட்டு மீட்டிங்ல போக முடியாம இருந்தேன். நீ போன் ஓடிட்டு கிடந்து என்னடா போன் நினைச்ச நீ
all
பாத்து
of a sudden the
இதுதான்
people
முக்கியம்.
left with no job.
அதான முக்கியம்.
Even the corporate
இப்படிதான் சோறு உனக்கு, இப்படிதான் சோறு உனக்கு.
Unemployment has become a grave, intensive problem during the pandemic, even after the pandemic. Another one crisis is the pandemic has created
Lot of disturbance, Alva.
currency value has come down even up to 76 rupees per dollar, US dollar. If you look at the GDP projection, here, not only Golden Sachs, many other rating agencies have projected negative growth in 2001. See here, export. How export has fallen. All negative growth, all sectors, rice, fruits, vegetables, plastics, spices, marine products. Maximum all sectors have registered only negative growth in the export. And as far as Asian Development Bank estimates, India has lost at least 29.9 billion US dollars due to COVID-19 pandemic. It is also come down. And 12 March 2020 has been considered as a dark day in the history of the Bombay Stock Exchange.
Sir, please our audio and video mute, sir. Lot of disturbance.
Audio video mute is
Please audio video mute.
Please audio video mute. The organizer bolta sir.
Dear participants, kindly mute your audio video so that the webinar will be very effective and useful. Kindly mute your audio and video, please. And when compared to the unemployment rate from March 8, 2020 to March 17, 2020, as per CME data, it has jumped up from 7.7% to 24% during the period. Manifold increases. And it is the overall ratio.
Ajmal Khan, Assistant Professor of Economics,
the unemployment ratio stands at 31% instead of 24% above the average, which reflects the layoff of industries and shutdown of this lockdown resulted shutdown of the unorganized sectors have led to higher increase in the unemployment rate. So, having had this background, we all know it has a negative impact on Indian economy, not only Indian economy, the global economy. But there is a shift in thoughts. There is a shift in assigning significance, assigning importance on various paradigm area that we have experienced in the past. And let us see, the first one is globalization versus nationalism. And before independence, during the period of fighting for independence in India, we had heard a lot of voice for Make in India, Be Indian, Buy Indian, and we had assigned lot of priority for nationalism. We had assigned lot of priority for nationalism. We imposed the trade barriers. Even after independence, the Nehruvian dogma, which envisages the development, growth of Indian economy, which insisted upon self-reliance, self-sufficiency. That has been the motive or objective of the several 5-year plans so far in the post-independence era. But what happens to the pandemic period? When it becomes pandemic, after this pandemic or when we experience the pandemic, now we began to talk about self-reliance. And we impose trade barriers, whether to choose between globalization or nationalization. Several people, even in the economic diaspora dais, we have been in favor of nationalism with minimal globalization. And many people discuss, no, we cannot come back from globalization. Once our country has been made or integrated into the global economy, we cannot come back. So amidst globalization, we have to protect the interest of the country. So the debate has been between globalization and nationalism. Can these two together inside, or we can give up globalized era for the nationalist interest, or we can give up nationalist interest for globalized era. So the shift of significance of nationalism, self-reliant economy has been the grave area that we have been discussing today. Just because of the pandemic period.
Kindly mute your
See, once
your
the
video, sir.
economy has been made free
For us.
economy. We have envisaged free trade zone, free economic zone, tax-free movement, less tariff, etc., etc. But what happened now? There is a trade war between China and the USA imposing heavy tariff on import items. And many MNCs have translocations. So for example, many MNCs located in China, subsidiaries in China, now it began to locate to various other countries like India. It is a translocation. This all discussion is erupted only by the pandemic period. The second one is demand versus supply side economics. Demand versus supply side economics. Whether to push the demand or to push the supply. That has become the narrative discussion and debate at present after the pandemic. How to recover the economy. To heal the economy, to combat the economy, to protect the economy from the pandemic situation, from the crisis, what else to provide the priority? Whether to provide demand side priority to provide priority for demand side or supply side economy. Some argue for improvement in demand, direct transfer of cash to the people to increase, promote the so-called demands. Only when the people have cash on hand, they will create a demand for consumption articles. Only when the consumption articles is being demanded, the supply could be created. Otherwise, they will remain unsold stock, just like a cliff. Whereas from the supply side economics, the corporate companies, MSME sector, and other manufacturing sectors have to be given bailout so that they can resume the production after the closure. Only when they resume the production, the employment will be generated. Only when the employment is generated, the people will be left with the income. Only the income is generated, they will create a demand, and there will be this demand supply gap will be bridged. So people will look into this demand supply gap both from the demand side and the supply side. Here only we need a pragmatic approach, how to allocate the resources, wherever we need to have a to improve the production, we need to have support the, we have to provide the bailout to the MSME sector. Because which not only creates employment, it also contributes 1/3 of the GDP. Whereas the people to create demand, because whatever is produced by MSME, whatever is produced by corporate has to be sold out. Only then the production will be carried out. The production process will be continuous, and hence immediately the people have to be given with cash, because majority of the people, lower middle class people, their life has become, economic life has become indeterminate, uncertain during this pandemic period. Sudden loss of job, sudden loss of income, that led them without even necessities. So they lost their livelihoods. Here, the approach is supposed to be equal, the balancing the demand side and supply side when it comes to the bailout. Who has to be given the resources first? And then that one role of government and the private sector. See, during the liberalization era, we redefined the role of government, the downsized role of government. The private sector takes away huge role of the government, which earlier it was assigned. Private began to operate at a bigger level, the corporate companies and the other private. Triple P approaches have been made popularized. Private public participation in all the manufacturing sectors and industry sectors, even in the agriculture sector. But what happens after the pandemic? The pandemic just created or redefined the role of government. When it becomes pandemic, the private sector could not extend its support to the livelihood of the people, could not meet out the essential needs of the people, the basic communities of the people. Because during the pandemic period, even after the pandemic period, people has to thrive upon. When it becomes life or livelihood, the life cannot be at the cost of livelihood. Livelihood cannot be at the cost of life. Both they have to be balanced. In the sense, the role of government becomes very big now. People begin to expect everything from the government. But when government discharges to the role, whether it is delivery of public health or essentials, livelihood, or to compensate the loss of income in the form of direct cash transfer or substance support, whatever it is, the role of government has become big nowadays after the pandemic. The same way, there are two approaches, micro approach and macro approach, with which we can look into the aspect. So during this period, we can evolve a pragmatic approach, not only combat the virus, novel coronavirus, but also recover the economy from this bad or disastrous impact of the novel coronavirus. To have a pragmatic approach, we have to consider and design the economic policy in the sense it does not give up either life or livelihood. It has to give a balanced effect to both life and livelihood. Only when life is sustaining, we need livelihood. For livelihood, only when we have provide livelihood, we can sustain the life, and therefore it is the time of priority to ensure the livelihood for the majority of the people, most of the people, to save the life. So we need a pragmatic approach to overcome this problem, with which I hand over the session for discussion to the participants now. Hello. Thank you. Sir, Pallicham sir.
Sorry, sir, discussion. Hello, now this is time to discussion. Participants to ask more questions.
Yes.
Hello.
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 Please ask your question.
You have to ask questions.
Sir, you are audible, sir.
Tell me. Hello. சார் கேளுங்க 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 சார்.
கேளுங்க சார். Please raise your query. Yes, Mr. What is the
sir?
Excuse me, sir.
Yes.
I am asking you one question, sir.
Please, sir. Please go ahead.
What is the role of
Yes, please. Please go ahead, sir. Sir, please continue.
How much? Continue, sir. Continue.
Sir, hello.
Sir, கேக்குது.
Yes, sir. Please ask.
Hello, sir.
Sir, what is the role of the government?
Yeah. So, Ajmal Khan has asked what is the role of government and how it is being redefined as when we discuss later. You see, the role of government has become minimal. The economy becomes more free and free. When we encourage the private sector, multinational corporates, and movement of goods and services without a tariff or a minimal tariff and a reduction of tariff controls restrictions. So when we forego the restrictions, the global arena, global economy, the role of government is very much limited. In the sense, it looks into the safety of the people, both internal as well as external, and the provision of essential if it happens to be welfare state. But when it becomes a pandemic, the gross investment has come down, the profit ratio has come down, most of the sector incurs losses. In this demise situation, only the autonomous investment could bring up the economic activity up, as you said by the J.M. Keynes. So, government has to increase the expenditure. Government has to increase the expenditure, both consumption expenditure as well as the investment expenditure, to bring the economy, to recover the economy from the recession. That's why we say, not only that, the government has to meet the expectation of the people at the time of pandemic. It has to support the livelihood of the people. It has to support the productive sector of the people. It has to support even the private sector who has been engaging in the production arena. Hence, it has redefined the role of, it has increased the role of, significant role of the government.
Okay, thank you very much, sir. One more question, sir.
Yes, sir. Yes.
When will we come to the normal situation, sir?
Well, we cannot have a prediction. We can project. So the whole world is trying to combat this coronavirus. Only when the human intervention in terms of medicines, only when we develop medicines or vaccines, we can completely come over from this pandemic.
Sir, please your audio and video mute, sir.
Hello, please.
Lot of disturbance.
Sir, I am not able to. Hello. Somebody else, they are the. Hello. Thank you very much, sir. Sir, on behalf of Jawal Motkal, I will thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Sir, I have one question.
Yes, madam. Mr. Manikandan was about to ask question. Manikandan sir. Sir Manikandan sir. Yes, this one.
தெரியல அதான் நான் உங்ககிட்ட கேட்டுக்கலாம்னு இருக்கேன்.
ஆமா மேடம்.
நீங்க பேசலாம் மேடம்.
எப்படி மாறணும்னு சொல்லி போட்டு.
ஏதாவது ஓகே நான் பண்ணலாம் ஓகே.
Shall I continue, my dear? Hello.
Madam.
Sir, shall I continue?
Okay. You can share, madam.
Please, madam.
Please.
Madam.
Sir, our government has put some restriction upon the Chinese imports, sir. Yes. But our economy has been dependent upon those imports. Now we are not only exporting the finished goods, even the intermediate goods as well as raw materials, especially the raw materials for the pharmaceutical industry are being imported from China. By restricting the Chinese imports, how can we overcome this pandemic period? Whether it would be possible for us to successfully implement the Make in India plan without the imports from China?
Yes, madam, yes, very good question. A very good question. Here what we discuss the nationalism versus globalization. So when we in the globalized era, we had increased the tie-up not only with China, many Asian countries and even Europe countries. Presently, India had trade ties with more than 134 countries. And as far as China-India trade is concerned, after 2014, the trade relationship has increased tremendously. And still, the pharmacological industry in India is heavily depending on Chinese inputs. The same way, in the electronics industry, the electronics gadgets producing industry, India heavily depends on China. However, the ideology behind imposing curbs on certain imports or imposing levies or tariffs on certain products imported from China is to express the spirit of nationalism, and of course, from the economic point of view, the globalization can benefit us only when we have win-win competition. But when a global partner is much concentrating on one's own interest, without giving up anything for the partner's interest, we have no other choice but for going back for restrictions. But we have to have some alternative. That's why the dialogues have been carried out between India, China, even now, not only in military front, but also in economic front.
Thank you, sir.
Any other queries?
Manikandan sir, if you want to ask questions, please, you have to.
Manikandan sir, from the beginning, he was asked. Yes.
Sir, mic எடுத்துடுங்க.
Unmute the mic, sir.
Manikandan, unmute. Manikandan sir.
Unmute பண்ணுங்க.
Unmute பண்ணுங்க. mic. உங்க mic
unmute பண்ணுங்க. Right, okay.
Right, okay. Now.
இப்ப அமெரிக்காவை கம்பேர் பண்ணும்போது இந்தியால வந்து டெத் ரேட் குறைஞ்சிருக்குங்க சார்.
ஆமா.
ஆனா இதுல வந்து பார்க்கும்போது வந்து முக்கியமா அந்த சித்தா ஆயுர்வேதம் வந்து நம்ம அதனால வந்து டெத் ரேட் வந்து குறைச்சிருக்கோம் இல்லைங்களா?
ஆமா.
அப்ப வந்து இந்த மருந்து வந்து இது பண்ணக்கூடிய சமயத்துல நான் இப்ப வந்து அந்த இவங்க வந்து இங்கிலீஷ் மெடிசன்ல வந்து அந்த டாமினேஷன் வந்து இருக்குங்க இல்லைங்களா? அப்ப அது வந்து சித்தா ஆயுர்வேதாக்கு வந்து கவர்மெண்ட் வந்து என்ன மாதிரி ரெமடியல் வந்து பண்ணணுங்கிறது தான் சொன்னாங்க.
அதாவது ஆக்சுவலி நம்மளுடைய பாரம்பரிய மருத்துவம்னு சொல்லக்கூடிய சித்த மருத்துவம், ஆயுர்வேத மருத்துவம் பார்த்தீங்கன்னு சொன்னா இன்றைக்கும் நம்ம பாட்டி வைத்தியம் ஒரு முறையில வீடுகளில் நம்ம பின்பற்றிட்டு தான் இருக்கோம். நம்ம அந்த பாரம்பரிய வைத்தியத்துக்கு நிகர்ங்கிறது நம்ம ட்ரெடிஷ்னலா வில்லேஜ்ல பிறந்து வில்லேஜ்லேயே வளர்ந்து வந்தவங்களுக்கு தெரியும். ஆனா இந்த பிரசன்ட் ஏஜ்ல இருக்கக்கூடிய யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ் சிட்டி ப்ராட்டப்ஸ் யங்ஸ்டர்ஸ்க்கு வந்து தெரியுமான்னு தெரியல. பட் இந்த பேண்டமிக் வரும்போது ஆயுர்வேதிக்கா இருக்கட்டும், சித்தா இருக்கட்டும், எனி ட்ரெடிஷனல் மெடிசனா இருக்கட்டும், இல்லைன்னா அலோபதியா இருக்கட்டும், இது எல்லாத்தையுமே நம்ம வந்து காம்ப்ரிஹென்சிவா யூஸ் பண்ணணுங்கிறது தான் இப்ப 2 நாளைக்கு முன்னால கவர்மெண்ட் நமக்கு சொல்லியிருக்காங்க. ஈவன் நான் மினிஸ்ட்ரி ஆஃப் ஆயுஷ் கூட அதான் சொல்லியிருக்கு. நம்ம அந்த காம்ப்ரிஹென்சிவ் மெடிசன்ங்கிற பேர்ல அதையும் கூட எல்லா கிராமங்கள்லயும் கொடுக்க ஆரம்பிச்சிருக்காங்க. ஆனா என்ன பிரச்சனை அப்படின்னு சொன்னா, அலோபதி மெடிசன் டெவலப் ஆனது, இந்த இங்கிலீஷ் மெடிசன் டெவலப் ஆன காலத்துல இருந்து அதை லேப்ல டெவலப் பண்ணி அதை டெஸ்ட் பண்ணி ஹியூமன் ட்ரையல்ஸ் போய் அதனுடைய சைடு எஃபெக்ட் என்னன்னு சொல்லி வந்திருக்கு. ஆனா நம்மளுடைய ஆயுர்வேதிக் மெடிசன் வந்து பை பிராக்டிஸ்ல நம்ம வந்து ப்ரூவ் பண்ணியிருக்கோம். இந்த சயின்டிபிக் வேர்ல்டுல வந்து இந்த பார்மகாலஜிக்கல் ஒரு நம்ம என்ன சொல்றோம், அதை ஒரு குரூப் வச்சிருப்பாங்க. அவங்க தான் ப்ரெஷர் குரூப். அவங்க என்ன கேட்கறாங்கன்னா சயின்டிபிக் ப்ரூஃப் கேட்கறாங்க. ஒரு காலத்துல மஞ்சளுக்கு சயின்டிபிக் ப்ரூஃப் கேட்டாங்க. இப்ப மஞ்சளுக்கு நம்ம போராடித்தான் என்ன இருந்துச்சு, அமெரிக்காட்ட இருந்து அந்த ரைட்ஸ் வந்து ரைட்ஸை வாங்க முடிஞ்சு நம்ம. அதனால அதுல எந்த டவுட்டும் கிடையாது. அதையும் நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணணும். சென்னையில கூட வந்து கிட்டத்தட்ட ஒரு 1200 பேர் வந்து கம்ப்ளீட்டா வந்து நம்ம சித்தாவை பயன்படுத்தி இருக்காங்க. அதனால wherever it is necessary, we have to use both Siddha, Ayurveda, Unani and what not. We have to try for it. அரசு அதை என்கரேஜ் பண்ணணும்.
தேங்க்யூ சார்.
எனக்கு ஒரு சார்
என்னோட கதையை குறைக்கலாம். மாம்பழ கதையை இந்த முத்துக்கிட்ட அது எனக்கு அது ஒரு வருத்தம் வந்துகிட்டே இருக்கும். மாம்பழத்தை
kindly please mute your audio. Hello. Participants, please kindly mute your audios.
Any other queries?
What are thanks?
Number 94.
What happens கொடுப்பீங்களா சார்?
ஓகே சார்.
கொடுங்க சார்.
ஹலோ.
கொடுங்க.
34.
அறிஞர் அரசு கலைக்கல்லூரி முசிறி முதுகலை மற்றும் பொருளியல் ஆய்வுத்துறை சார்பாக இன்று நடைபெற்று முடிந்த ஆன்லைன் வெபினார் இவை நடத்துவதற்கு அனுமதி வழங்கிய கல்லூரி முதல்வர் டாக்டர் எம் கே ராஜ்குமார் அவர்களுக்கு முதலில் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இதற்கு மேலும் பக்கபலமாக இருந்த பொருளியல் துறை தலைவர் டாக்டர் பி ஹேமா, டாக்டர் ஆர் பிச்சுமணி மற்றும் என்னுடன் பணியாற்றும் பேராசிரியர்கள் அனைவருக்கும் நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இந்த ஆன்லைன் வெபினாரை சிறப்பு அழைப்பாளராகவும் கருத்தாளராகவும் பங்கேற்று எங்களது கல்லூரிக்கு பொருளியல் துறை சார்பாக நடைபெற்ற ஆன்லைன் வெபினாரின் முக்கிய கருத்துரையாக வழங்கிய திருச்சி பெரியார் ஈவேரா கல்லூரியின் பொருளியல் துறை இணை பேராசிரியர் முனைவர் கோபாலகிருஷ்ணன் அவர்களுக்கு நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். மேலும் இந்த ஆன்லைன் வெபினாரை இவ்வளவு நேரம் பொறுமையாகவும் ஆர்வமாகவும் கருத்துக்களை பரிமாறிக்கொண்டும் பங்கேற்பு செய்த அனைத்து பங்கேற்பாளர்களையும் நன்றி கூறி பொருளியல் துறை சார்பாக இதயம் கணித நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கிறேன். இதற்கு இந்த ஆன்லைன் வெபினாரை வெற்றிகரமாக நடத்தி முடிப்பதற்கு உறுதுணையாக இருந்த எமது கல்லூரி வரலாற்றுத்துறை பேராசிரியர் பிச்சு பழனிசாமி அவர்களுக்கு இந்த நேரத்தில் மிகுந்த நன்றியை தெரிவித்துக் கொள்கின்றேன். இந்த ஆன்லைன் வெபினாரை சிறப்பாக நடத்துவதற்கு உதவிய அனைத்து நல்லுள்ளங்களுக்கும் நன்றி கூறி விடைபெறுகின்றோம். நன்றி, வணக்கம். இது சொல்லுங்க சார். மெயிலே கொடுத்துடலாம்ல?
மெயில்ல நான் கொடுத்துட்டு ஆன்லைன்ல இப்ப உங்களுக்கு அனுப்பிடுவேன்.
அந்த feedback link will be sent to your email ID. Thank you one and all.
Okay sir.